Wait.
Ap- Good afternoon. Woo,
Yeah,
good
good
morning.
evening. No, good
No,
morning.
it is morning. That's right,
Yes,
brother.
yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Real Talk with Glenn and John, no?
Mm-hmm. It's
Boom.
definitely, yeah. Yeah. We're going
And
to
there
have
we
to
are.
get a sound guy in the near future. Okay. We're going to have to get a sound guy. We need some camera guys. We
Yeah,
need to start. Yeah. This got to go to the next level
going to the
sometime
next
in the
level.
near future. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. So,
but,
welcome to our
hey,
audience. No?
welcome everybody. Just, you're with, Glenn and John Recovery Talk, and this is our show where we don't edit anything. We just keep it real. We have a special guest today, and you know what, Glenn, I'm gonna let you talk a little bit, and then you introduce this person because I feel that that's not mine, not that's yours. So,
Yeah. Okay. That's great,
all right,
Johnny. That's
there you
great.
go. All right.
Yeah, and welcome to everybody. We uh we keep it real. This is gonna be unedited talk, and we're gonna bring HALT to the table. And it's an acronym that's used in recovery. It stands for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. And what do
Mm-hmm.
we do? What do we do when these emotions come about? Really, a self check in, a self care to try to help us understand how to better deal with these emotions as they come, and really to prevent ourselves from relapse. This is the ultimate. And so
Well,
we
we
got some
we have
big
done this.
fun.
We
Go
have
ahead, John.
done this video before. We have another one like this, but this is something we got to keep hearing this stuff over and over. So this is from a different angle. I just
That's
want to
right.
throw that out there. Okay.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's all I got for you.
All right. So the whole concept is an addiction relapse prevention tool that helps us recover by teaching us to focus on self care actions that address the relapse symptoms that are some of the biggest red flags for relapse. Okay. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we brought in the big guns. We got some real wisdom. I want to bring her on. Her name is Diane. She's my sister. I can't. This is great. What a testimony we all have behind this, or actually we have behind this. So we're going to bring her on, and here she is. We have audio only, so no video. But Diane, welcome to the podcast. Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good
Okay.
morning.
Welcome.
Good morning,
Welcome.
guys.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Great to see you guys. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Great topic,
Mm,
for sure. I think you guys are doing a great job. Keeping it real. I think we all need that reminder, and we all need to live that way. To live, excuse me, live in the live in the program. And do what we've been taught. To do.
mm,
And I was thinking this morning, and this came to me talking about anger. Before I came into AA, I began my recovery journey. The only way I knew to live was to react with anger.
mm.
No matter no matter the situation, I did not know how to live any other way or if there was another way. So at this point, my anger was absolutely out of control and I was destroying myself and others. As I grew into the program, working closely with my sponsor, doing the steps, and remaining teachable and willing, I began a journey in learning how to live a sober life. She suggested that I try to pause before taking any action, that I was, excuse me, pause before I took any action. And that was a foreign concept to me. I thought it
Mm,
was ridiculous, but matter of fact. But she showed me how quick I was to enter or engage in destructive behavior.
yeah.
And as I began practicing this way of thinking, again, which was very foreign to me, it had provided me with tools.
Mm,
So now, when a situation arises, I do not engage with destructive behavior. I always try to remember to ask myself in any situation, am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? When I do that, I have a greater chance of selecting the proper response in any situation. I have incorporated this way of thinking in all areas of my life, not just personal, but at the workplace or just dealing with people, no matter what the travel. I wish I could say that I get it right all the time, but I don't. But today, but today I know there is a solution readily available to me if I choose to apply it. And that's how I try to live my life every day, or at least try to. Um,
Mm.
so that's pretty much all that I have to say. Looking forward to other input that's coming my way. So
Mm.
Yeah.
thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. Absolutely. That
Yeah.
in a nutshell, Johnny. I mean, that in a nutshell just pretty much cornered it. So
Mhm.
thank you, Diane. Thank you for that. It's great, Johnny. What you got to say?
Well, you know, she basically on a lot of different angles. She went ahead and targeted a lot of stuff. But what comes to mind with me is um, that wasn't easy for me. When I get angry, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, I had to practice that because I still would get pissed off. I knew that the consequences that, but for me, here's the thing. For me, of going through this for years now, I have learned that I had to go through emotional stages because I would beat myself in the head with the dark thing of it. Like, I just did that again. I just got angry. I just yelled. I just screamed again. And so what happened was there just this kind of just clicked where I was going to get angry. And I'm like, don't do that.
mm-hmm.
And then I kind of sat back, made a phone call, but it took me a while to get there. And like she was saying, it had to be brought to my attention constantly. And I think that's why we're talking about this today is that we're constantly thinking about ways to respond instead of react without having to constantly, like you told me a long time ago, Glenn, you said, you don't want to be 20 years in the program going, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, I'm sorry, and keep doing the same thing over and over again. And so now I'm careful of my motives and I pay attention to the tone of my voice once again and my facial expressions, how to communicate with love. So that's a little bit. I mean, I can keep going on for that, but we'll go ahead and throw it your way.
No, and that. I mean, I took the notes again, right? And I know it's the same. And I wanna kind of bring Diane back and let her kind of respond to this because it this is the problem that anger was the only way to react, and I think a lot of us relate to this very thing. And the question is in some of the notes that I took, it says that it's an anger is a natural emotion and a natural part of our recovery, but we must take the time to work on how to handle it, right? Or what Diane was saying, because it contributes to the impulsive or spiteful, vindictive behaviors, and those things can lead to the relapse. But like she was saying, the pause, Diane, and how to handle it, it's just that. I mean, would you say that I mean, you had to learn, you talked about being teachable and willing. You had to learn how to incorporate that. What was that like when you were incorporating the correct way after you would pause? What
It
was
was
that like?
horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It really was.
Yes.
It was. It was so foreign to me. I loved to react. I did not know any other way to live. And it was tough. And I had to practice and practice and practice. And I'd go, with a spell of doing it, in a very healthy way. And then I'd
Mm.
fall off the rock again, or fall off the beam. And here I am. I'm on my horse and I'm riding in, and and there are a lot of days I fell off that horse. And and but that's okay. I'm never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I remain teachable, you know, and carry the message, it gets easier for me. The more I relate to other people and how they deal with things.
Mm.
And I basically had to grow up. I really had to grow up because I knew no other way. And today, you know, I live a great sober life. And I'm so grateful for the program and for people like you and others that continue to teach me. Because I can't do this by myself. You know, this is a we program, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And I'm grateful to be part of that.
Yeah. Good.
Mm.
Good stuff, Johnny. How do you react to that? I mean, that's
Well, there's a
interesting.
couple things that come to mind.
Go ahead.
There's a couple things that come to mind. What, you know, she, you know, you fall off that beam and you keep getting back on. But the gift is, yeah, a lot of people will veer away from that beam and not get back on the beam.
Right. Yeah.
And so for me, I've learned, bro, you, Glenn, in the beginning, you always never talk down to me. I came to you, I can't even tell you how many conversations we've had where you know, I can't believe it. And you would always just give me love, man, every single time.
Yeah.
So what happens is when I'm going through the fire now, there's a safe place that I can go to that you're not going to beat me down. What the heck's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? There's none of that. There's like, well, and then we talk about it eye to eye,
Absolutely.
you know? And so that was I'm so grateful for that, is that I was able to establish that healthy relationship with you and with other men over the years. But I've been able to be teachable, open-minded, and willing,
There,
right?
there it is.
To keep I mean, where I was and where I'm at now, because I've been obedient to listening and taking other people's suggestions and then applying them in my life, I can still, like your sister's saying, keep on that beam. I'm not perfect, but I'm able to do that because I know the gift is I got to be kind.
Yeah. And so, man, and that's so good. That's all inclusive. The ability to pause and understand that, like Diane said, and you're saying, and I say the same thing, that the idea is that we have established these tools because we stuck around. We didn't leave before the miracle happened. We got some skills. We're understanding how to apply and what to do after we get it wrong. We have the abilities to make the wrongs right. And we learn that by going through the steps and everything else that Diane said and you're saying as well. So pause, you know, pray, call your sponsor, you know, go to a meeting, talk to some accountability or somebody that you have in your support group. And these are all the things that we learn that they're musts. We need these things to survive. And I want to kind of shift it a little because we're talking about anger, which I said is one of the natural emotions. We went by hunger, which is really, you know, listen, we got to take care of ourselves. We got to stay healthy. We got to put the nutrition in us to keep our mind sharp, our bodies alive. So the hungry, we kind of breeze by. It's not something that we breeze by, but it's pretty simple. I mean, let's eat, take care of ourselves. But I want to get to the lonely because this is huge. And I'm going to get you to react to this because the lonely is one of the significant risk factors. It's considered one of the strongest relapse triggers, and it really stems from a lack of support or accountability. These are the main contributors, right? So we ask ourselves, is it situational? Is it something caused by the separation from our support group or meetings or whatever it is that we're doing, or is it internally? And I don't really want to go down the mental health aspect of it, but that is something that we have to consider. But being that loneliness is one of the most significant, factors, Johnny, and then really, Diane, you can both answer that. What do you say to that?
Well, hey, here's the thing, and I'm going to keep saying this until the day that my eyes close. The reason why I get lonely is because there's no accountability. Okay, I'm telling you, I know it. If you give me myself for 4 days without talking to anybody, bro, I will feel sorry for myself. I'm going to feel like I'm a victim. The reason why I'm not like that today is because, and I'll be very brief with this. One, me and I have established a healthy lifestyle. I've established a healthy routine in my life. And I call every day so that you can hear the tone in my voice, so that if I get kicked back on my heels, you will redirect my thinking every day. My attitude is different because I have someone in my ear. That's why the loneliness is there.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty
For
good.
me, for this guy.
Oh yeah. Diane, you're listening. I mean, what do you say to that? It's pretty interesting. I mean, we talk about routine and accountability and really getting outside of our own heads. What does that look like? How do we do that?
Yeah, Diane, give it to me. What do you got? Come on. Let's be real here. Come on.
Oh, absolutely. When I end up in that stage of being lonely, that's a dangerous slope for me. There's no doubt about that. Before I would just kind of sit in it, and I would be, feeling like I was a victim and oh me and blah, blah, blah. And, and I learned, I have the tools. If I choose to use the tools, I will always come out on top. But if I sit there, and most of the time when I get into that lonely situation, I go back to the first three steps, and that centers me, you know, and or I'll go to a meeting, or I'll call my sponsor or anybody in my network, because I don't have to live that way anymore. If I choose that, then that's my problem, and I'm going to have to sit in it, and it'll be a lousy day. I always think about the only reason that I get to learn this and practice this is because I let go of the ego. Because once I let go of the ego, then I have to admit that I do have an issue, I do have a problem, and I need to take the different steps to be able to, get me out of it. We usually say ego, and usually we follow that with edging God out. And that's something that I have to remember all the time, because it's God that has gotten me, through this. Yes, I do the work, but without God in my life, there's no way that I could accomplish any of it. It's because it's only with his grace and mercy that I am where I am today.
What do we say, Glenn? Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
No, go ahead, John. Go ahead, Johnny.
No, when you say that, the first thing that comes to mind is my ego is not my amigo.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, he tries to be. I kind of get out of here.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. A little bit of español, no, amigo. Amigo, you habla español.
Yeah.
No, we joke, and it's okay.
Yeah.
We've been around a while, so it's we're not really taking it too serious. We want to just put out some good information and stuff that we know works, and like Diane was saying early on. So the truth is that we're not exempt from these problems or these trials or this loneliness, this ego and pride. This is real. These things just happen. They come about. And I'm here to say, I've heard from many people, to get up inside my head, it's a bad neighborhood. I don't want to go. I don't want to be there alone. But the truth is, sometimes I do. And man, the voices are crazy. It's a full-on circus. And there's many voices that are there. I wish I could say I'd never done that along the journey. And the truth is that I've sort of tested those waters, because I felt like I just wanted to close the drapes, or I didn't want to be part of anything. And then I realized that but like Diane is saying, but for the grace of God, because, early on, to establish the sponsorship and the accountability, I need my phone to ring. I need people to knock on my door and check on me, because if I'm left to my own devices, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fall off the beam. Now, I can get back on that beam, like Diane was saying, but I need help. I
Yeah.
need the program. I need the accountability. I need even sponsorship to check on me sometimes. So it seems like it's
But
difficult and it's too hard, right, Johnny? And I want to quit. I want to throw in the towel. Those are just real emotions. And I want to just say this, and then I'm going to let you talk, is that the routine and the structure that we consistently talk about, how important it is what you said, that people can notice when they don't see you for a minute or they don't hear from you for a second because you've been going to meetings, you do have accountability. People notice. So this is important that
sure,
we counter ourselves.
the walk is attractive. People can see that. You don't even have to say anything. They can see the walk is attractive. But for the most part, and I think we need to touch on this really, this is very serious. I didn't understand that I had to carve out time. I had to make time. And you know that I do each day to start my day with spiritual food. I can't go to church Sunday because I eat literally physically 3 times a day. Okay. If I don't eat spiritually in the morning, my foot's not going to be pointed in the right direction. And I'm going to be going into the day with a bad attitude. And that's where the hungry, angry, lonely, tired, if you are not spiritually fit, that this whole journey, spiritual journey, it's a spiritual journey. The soul and the spirit are very powerful. They either make you or it can either break you. And
Yeah.
so what I'm realizing more and more is that I get into the word each day because I went through the steps of my sponsor. Okay. And I know my God of my understanding today. I try to do that every day. And for some reason, I have peace within my heart today. So it's very important that I do that. We have to touch on that because a lot of people just get up and go out the door. Okay. Well, okay, you can do that. But what if you're a sailor or a captain of a ship? You think he gets in his ship and just leaves? He has to make sure that everything is tied down. He has to make sure that he has food on board. He has to make sure that he has all of his fuel on board. It's the same concept.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Spiritual nourishment is really, that's really
Yeah,
good, Johnny.
big time.
That's part of being hungry.
I
So,
mean,
and
just
it is
saying.
part of the 11th step, and it's just really something that we practice all the way through. It's good to
Yeah.
have and establish, but I want to kind of, Diane, I would say that to be able to talk about it or speak it into the light, not just the solution, right? Because those are good to have, but the problem itself or where I'm actually at, how important it is it to even, not just with our sponsor or share at a meeting, how important it is it to share what we're going through and where we're at, and also incorporate the solution. Are you there, Di?
Oh, I am now. Sorry.
That's okay. Did you hear? Are you with us?
I did. For some reason, I dropped for a minute. So I was only hearing half of what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, Johnny was talking about spirituality and just really, big part of our recovery is to make sure that we're filled up spiritually, and that involves prayer and meditation,
Oh,
uh,
absolutely.
and fill ourselves up, to establish before we go out, running out the door. We need to do that, and that's good, and that is the solution. But I want to kind of shift a little bit over to how important would it be it, we speak these things out into the light, or we talk about them with our sponsors. How important is it to actually talk about the problem or where we're at? And as well, we don't ever leave out the solution, but how important is it to just be able to talk, the freedom to be able to talk and share about that?
Oh, that's one of the great gifts of this program, because it is a spiritual program, whatever your understanding is of your higher power. Um, I used to, I used to get up and I was ready to go. I didn't have time to talk to God. I will do that later, you know. And boy, that was very dangerous for me because, like Johnny said, if I don't start the day in a spiritual mindset,
Hmm.
the day will go really, really tough, and I'll give up and I'll revert back to those, lousy behaviors that I used to have, which I don't want to have anymore. But it is the program spiritual base. For me to ever think that it's not, and that I can take back my life and do the way that I'm used to doing, that's disastrous. I cannot live that way. And it's just, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but that's my truth. The way that I live. But it's spiritual. It's spiritual. And if I don't stay in that realm, I really, have a large problem.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go there.
That was great. That's good stuff. She's giving a lot of nuggets and not making it too long. She just, man, I tell you what, it's great having you on today.
Well, nothing I say is original by any means. It's
no,
everything
I
I've
hear
learned.
I hear you.
Through these 24 years. I mean, I was a wreck when I first came in. I didn't know spiritual. I had no connection with God. I was an empty soul. And and it takes practice, and it takes talking, it takes being real, and remaining teachable. That's a big thing for me. I can't shut the door and think that I know everything. And I just can't do that. I just cannot do that. That's not a healthy way to live for me or for the people around me.
That's good stuff, brother.
Perfect. Well, Di, we're going to let you go. We're going to want to thank you so much, my sister Diane, for coming on. Thank you. And going to go a long ways. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Thanks,
you
guys, for being here. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Yeah. You got it. Thank you so much for being here. It's beautiful. And we are coming to the end of our show. And boy, I tell you what, this was a good one. I'm really grateful for the talk. What good conversation. So here's the deal. Please, subscribe if you want, hit the like button and leave some comments so that, we're still not getting a lot of comments. We would love to hear what you think, good or bad. That way it just betters us. So if you can, and you like the channel, subscribe. We're just going to keep popping these out, and just what's on our heart, and no edit, just real. And it's a beautiful thing. Other than that, that's all I got for you.
Beautiful. Well, and a lot of nuggets going out as well. I say the same thing, Johnny, and just be reminded, expect to the audience, we're never alone.
Never alone.
We do get lonely, but we're never alone.
Nice.
God is before us. He's with us, and we have the program, we have sponsorship, accountability. As we said over and over, be willing, stay willing to be teachable. It really is. The journey is long, but it's beautiful. We do develop skills, right, Johnny? We develop tools to help us better overcome, all of these hurdles. It's good news.
It's amazing, man. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. The greatest thing about what I've experienced is that when this program combines with your personality, it is an amazing thing to watch. I've had many front row seats. Glenn has had a front row seat to my journey, and it's pretty cool, when you start being loving and kind. And I don't want to be hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. I want to make sure that I maintain a healthy spirit.
Good stuff. Oh, well, much love to the audience. Thanks to Diane again, and Johnny. Always, brother. It's always a pleasure. Boom.
Love you. I love you, buddy.